Okay, hi guys, Johnny, Maya and Sam here, and today we are doing our shoulder mobility class. Now, some of the exercises may not be appropriate for you depending on your injury or the time of rehab that you're in and so on and so forth, but there may be parts of this that you can pick out. We've certainly gone through these at length. Myself and Maya have gone through these at length, so Sam hasn't actually seen these exercises. And I've done that for a reason, because we want to kind of teach and kind of, work out what might be difficult to understand, and, sometimes I might explain something and you might not understand it. So it's a really good idea to go through that. Now, I've only been through them once with Maya, so again, it's a really good exercise, so hopefully we will talk you through those exercises, and let's get starting from here. So, unless you've got any knee issues, then I suggest a good place to start is in kneeling. Other than that, you can find a place to sit down. So guys, if you start kneeling, what we're going to do is we're going to work on some thoracic flexion and extension. So they're both in kneeling. So what I want you to do here, guys, is that in that kneeling position, you're going to just slump down. So you're going to be in a deep kneeling position. And if you put your feet nice and wide, you can really kind of sit a bit closer into that. Okay, so what you want to do is just slump down, and as you slump down, I want you to breathe out, and then you can drop the head down. Now, to make that slump a bit more, you can put your hands behind your head and just pull your neck towards your chest. And then you're going to come back up into thoracic extension. So what you're going to do now, good, really arch back, good, excellent. So you can see Maya from the side, and then you can see Sam here. We're going to do 8 of these, so 4 flexion, 4 extension. So you can do this either for a count, maybe you count for up to 8 seconds, that's probably enough. Or you can do a breath out on the way down, and a big breath in on the way out. So if you're struggling with putting your hands over your head, again, if Maya will show you now, what you can do is keep your hands there towards your chest and going down into that position there. If you haven't got an issue of putting your hands behind your head, this is kind of an external rotation, then you can get an extra bit of a stretch on by using that. Again, opening up the chest and getting that arch going in. So you really want to be going from there. Now, up to 8 reps, like I say, 4 in, 4 out is pretty good on that, and you're just going to get that flexion at the thorax, okay, around the chest. So the next exercise that we're going to do is we're going to do a postural stretch. So a postural stretch means that we're going to hold a static stretch for a particular amount of time. So we're going to hold this for about 20 seconds. So what's going to happen is, again, in kneeling, or if you've got an issue in kneeling, you can go into sitting. Okay, you're going to put your hands behind your back and you're going to clasp them just like that. Okay, good. And from here, you're going to bring your chest up and proud, okay? And then you're going to tuck your chin towards your chest. And what you should, where are you feeling that stretch now, Maya? Yeah. So she's feeling that over her shoulders. Again, it's different for different people. Where are you feeling that stretch, Sam? Okay, so, and again, Sam is like kind of looking to contract the muscles just to get into that space. So you can see that his neck flexion, he's really struggling there. So he's probably going through a huge tension here. Again, we hold that for 20 seconds, and then we're going to come out of that. So there's our first 2 done. And again, we're going to now look at the next. So what we're going to do is we're going to be in that kneeling position, okay? And from that kneeling position, we're going to go into lateral flexion. We're going to try and bring our ear to our shoulder. So we're going to do it without the hand first, Maya. Good. So down, into that position. When you're in that position, as far as you can go, you can take the same hand and pop it over the head, and then you can do a little bit of an overpressure, an overstretch on that. Hold that for 5 or 6 seconds, or for a deep breath in and a deep breath out. We go back into the center, and we'll repeat this 3 times on this side. So 1 is done, so then you go back into it. So we've got that active movement. Then after that, pop the hand over, and then we get just that deep stretch down the side of the neck there. Again, we'll do 1 more on this side. I've got my laptop here for reference on what we're doing. And when we've done 3 on this, and again, we normally hold these for a big breath in, big breath out, because we've got a lot to do in this class. And then we'll go to the opposite side. Now, another way to change this is that when you can now overpress and you're pulling it down to that side, but to make it a PNF stretch, appropriate neuro facilitation stretch, you can push your head into your hand. So you're pushing that way. So Sam would be pushing against his hand, Maya would be pushing against her hand, and you can hold that for 5 seconds, and then you relax it and you go deeper into the stretch, and then you push it again, and you can do that for 3. So three reps of 5 seconds in and out of the stretch. So you can add some PNF, proprioceptive neurofacilitation, to that. Okay, so we're going to stay in this position here, and we're going to go on to exercise number 4, and we're looking at the levator scapula. So this is one of the muscles that attaches on your cervical spine and goes all the way down to your scapula here. Again, in seated or kneeling, you're going to turn your hand into a V like that, upside down. You're going to try and sniff your armpit. So you're going to try and then you're going to catch your hand a little bit higher than that, good. And then you're going to just bring it down into that position there. So just into that position, and I'm really feeling that stretch on my levator scapula, that stretch going all the way down there. If you're not feeling it, change it around. Hold that for a couple of breaths, and then back out of it. And we'll repeat 3 times on this side, so you can keep the hand like that. Again, down into there, so, and then I'm down on that. Now, if Sam uses the other hand, you might get a bit more of a stretch. So again, so head down into the side again, so down here, hand like that, and then push down. Can you feel that stretch now? Is that a bit better? And then Maya, if you use the other hand as well, so again, down into that position there, you should feel more of a stretch. So if I'm looking to my right, if I'm sniffing my right armpit, I'm going to use my left hand. If I'm sniffing my left armpit, I'm going to use my right hand, and I'm going to try and tip my head into that position. So we'll do 3 on the other side. So again, looking to the left, down to the left, catch the hand, upside down, make a V, and then hold that for 5 seconds. And then we're back out of that, and we're doing 2 more reps of that. Doing really well. So you'll really, and if you can't feel that stretch, it's just about trying to manipulate the position of your head and neck, and maybe a little bit of downward force to feel that overpressure. Okay, so last set for each of the guys here. From this exercise, what we're going to do is we're going to go into cat-cow. So we're going to go into quadruped kneeling, so 4-point kneeling. Okay, and what you're going to do here is we're working on thoracic flexion and extension. So Sam, if you have a quick look at, yeah, you've got it. Okay, so big breath out for that arch in the back. You can see real good arch there on both the guys here. And then they're going to drop the head, and then they're going to reverse the arch. Good. They're going to hold this for a couple of seconds, and when they've done the first rep, what they're going to do is they're going to walk their hands out. So when they come back into neutral, they're going to walk their hands out in front of them a couple of, 4 or 5 centimeters, and then they're going to do exactly the same. Now, each repetition, when the hands go a bit further out, then they're going to feel more of a stretch right up through the lats. So really tucking that chin underneath. So this is 2 repetitions. We normally say between 6 to 8 repetitions. You're walking yourself out another little bit, so you can see the guys here again, getting into that thoracic extension here, and then back up into the thoracic flexion. Again, you can count for 5 or 6 seconds, or you can start bringing in your breathing here. So put it in orchestra with your breathing. Okay, so we're going to really see how the guys get on with regards to their mobility, their flexibility, working through that flexion and extension. Now, you may feel as you walk out that you're getting a very tight spot around the lats. How are you feeling there, Maya?
Yeah, all right.
Is it getting a bit tighter as you walk out, or what about you, Sam?
Yeah, struggling.
Struggling, okay, cool. Well, Sam does a lot of bodybuilding stuff, so you can see that this is important, especially if you're lifting heavy weights. Good, and we'll do 2 more reps each, guys. Gonna try and get those hands right out there in front of you. As far out there in front of you as you possibly can do. Okay. And then 1 more rep each. So I really try and get out as far as I possibly can. And as you go further into it, you'll feel like, oh my God, I can't actually get into flexion or extension. So you'll see that the range for flexion and extension will reduce, but you'll feel that stretch more over the lats. Okay, so the next one from here is where we're going to be, just looking again at my notes here. So we've done that one, we've done the cat-cow. So we're going to thread the needle with a twist. So Maya, can you do it where your hand is going that way? So you see Maya is in 4-point kneeling, okay, and her right hand has gone out like that. Now her palm is facing up towards the ceiling, and now she's going to twist away from it. So if you twist towards me, good, so you can see her head is coming down. Now she can put some pressure on the floor with her hand, so she can push into the floor, and that gets more of a stretch. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
She says yes. Okay, Sam, if you're watching that, can you show us how that goes? So you're going to stretch all the way around. Now you're going to try and face the other way. Good. How's he getting on there? And then you're going to hold that for 5 seconds. So let's do 3 reps on each side. Good. So you reach as far as you can, then get the twist on. You want to look away from that hand as much as you possibly can. Hold it for 5 seconds. Then you come out of it, Sam. And then you go back into it again. And again, you can coordinate this with your breathing, or you can count some seconds on this. But we're doing 3 sets on each side. So you'll feel a stretch over the posterior shoulder, over the back of the shoulder here. So you can see the guy's doing a really good job here. Okay. And then we're going to do 3 on the opposite side. Now, there are links in the video for each one of the exercises. So if you look in the description, you'll see at what time each exercise is being done and the name of the exercise. So if it's in your rehab program and you've got 5 of these exercises in your rehab program, you'll see a link to that actual exercise. If you're doing this as a general mobility class, then this is a really good program to follow, really opening out the shoulder, the upper body, that scapular girdle aspect as well. So when the guys have done their 3 sets on each side, we're now going to go into what's called a sleeper stretch. So Maya, if you're facing the camera and lie on your side, so lie on your left side. And yeah, and you're going to need, so she's going to need some blocks for this. So the reason why we're using some yoga blocks here is because she can rest her head on the yoga blocks. So Sam, if you want to face towards Maya. So again, so now they're in the fetal position, and you can see Sam is just building up the blocks to wherever he feels comfortable. If he wants another one underneath there, that's fine. Then you're going to bring your knees right up your chest, and again, right up your chest. And you can see that Maya has already started in this position. So we'll actually we'll just get you to put your hand down here. So what she wants to do is bring her shoulder out in line with her. So up to 90 degrees, and then we'll just leave her hand like that, and then she's going to bring her elbow to 90 degrees. So you can see Sam's got that right, perfect. Now, Maya is opened up at the moment, so you can see her shoulder here. She's not quite lying on her side, so she's not going to get the stretch on. So she's got to really lie over onto her side. She can make the yoga blocks, if I put those a little bit further there for you. So she's got to be almost really on her side. She's going to get her other hand and she's going to put it over the top here. So what she's going to do is put her hand down by her elbow, and then the other hand comes across here like that. So you can see she's just like that. So Sam is now following this, so I'm hoping you're able to follow it as well. And what's going to happen, we're going to do a static stretch on this, okay? So we're going to open up that posterior capsule. So we're going to use gravity, and we're going to go down till you feel a discomfort, till you feel a sensation, till you can't go any further. You may need to bring your knees down a touch just in case that gets in the way. And you're going to hold this position for 30 seconds. And we're going to end up doing 3 sets of these, okay? So you can see we've got really good internal rotation with Maya here. Can you feel that discomfort, Maya?
Yeah.
And then we haven't got such great rotation, or let's be fair and say we've got less internal rotation with Sam there. But I'm guessing you're feeling the discomfort as well, Sam. Certainly is. Okay. So we're holding that for 30 seconds, and then kind of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're going to stay lying on her side, and now what's going to happen is Maya now is going to put her hand out in front of her. So she's going to get the hand that she's lying, she's going to put it out in front of her, and she's going to have her palm facing up. Okay? And now with this hand, now she's going to do thoracic rotation. So we're going to do the Robin Hood pulling the bow. So now she's going to stretch this arm out as far as she can, out way out. That's it, good, well done, Sam. Right out and far. So you can see there's a lot of thoracic rotation. Now what she's going to do from here, she's going to pull a bow. So she gets this arm back on the floor. So she's going to pull it right back in. She's going to get this elbow right back. So try and really, can you feel that stretch? Okay, you hold that for 5 seconds. And then we're going to drive back into that rotation again. So they're going to go all the way across. So they're reaching. You want to imagine that you're pulling a string. You're going to get that bow. And really what you want to do is you want to get this shoulder, so the top shoulder. So Sam, your right shoulder, you want to get that literally on the floor. So you get it on the floor. And you can move the yoga blocks if they're moving around a bit. Maybe they're not. Maybe we've got less of a yoga block here. For this one, is that a bit easier? Yeah. And then you can lift that head up. Okay, cool. And then back in towards it. So we've done 2 reps. This is our last one. So you stretch as far as you can. When you can't stretch anymore, you hold that for 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull your Robin Hood bow back and try and get that opposite shoulder onto the ground. Now, if you've done it on one side, we're going to do the other side. So I'm going to get you guys to do exactly the same on the other side, please. Okay. Right. And we're going to do our sleeper stretch for 30 seconds. Okay, so you'll see the guys getting into their sleeper stretch. Okay, they're going to hold that into that position, okay, for 30 seconds. So I want you guys to start counting the 30 seconds yourselves. When they've done their 30 seconds, they're obviously then going to go into the Robin Hood bow. They're going to do 3 of those, and then that then is each side done. Okay, so the next one after that is going to be Snow Angels, which is going to be really nice. So working through this nicely. Okay, and then when you've done your 30 seconds, you know that you're going to be going into your Robin Hood bow. Okay. Now, you might want to press pause on the video after this exercise here, because I would normally say do 3 sets of this. But for the video purpose, we're going to just do 1 set. So we've done 1 set of the sleeper stretch, and then we've done 1 set of the Robin Hood pull the bow exercise. But then you would, do another 2 sets. So it might be a good idea, if you don't want to go on to the next exercise after this, to repeat this twice more and then follow along with the video again. That's if you're completing the whole program. If it's not part of your exercise from the program that we've set you out, then follow the program. Cool. I think the guys have got 1 more left. Now, the good thing about here is that I'm moving the guys around a little bit, but you can see that we've gone from kneeling to 4-point kneeling to side lying, and we're going to stay in side lying for the next exercise. So the next exercise is Snow Angels. So again, Sam, I'll have to get you to turn your head on the other side, and you're going to be lying on your side but facing the camera. Cool. Yep, perfect. So you're going to be lying on your left side. Lovely. And you can take those as well if you want, if you need them. You might need a yoga block for this. Now, if you watch Maya, so Maya now she's going to do exactly what she did in the first exercise. She's going to sweep out as far as she can. Now, what she's going to do is she's going to make a Snow Angel, but she's never going to leave her fingers come off the floor. Now, if at any time she feels a tight spot, so if any time you feel a tight spot, Sam, I want you to hold a tight spot. But I also want your knees to really stay on the floor. I want you to fight that. So when you feel a tight spot, I want you to hold that tight spot, and I want you to stretch even further into that tight spot. And then you hold that for 5 seconds, and then try and make the hole come all the way down. Every time you feel a tight spot, you do it. So, and again, you can see that Maya's probably got a lot more mobility in her shoulders than Sam has got. But if you feel tight spots as well, Maya, so then you're going to come all the way back around again. So you're going to keep those fingers on the floor, keep going all the way around. Anytime you feel that tight spot, you want to work into it. Good. So we're doing 3 sets of these. So again, like Sam is doing there, he's stretched out as far as he possibly can. If he feels anything in that rotation, in that arc of rotation, I want him to stop. I want him to feel it. I want him to push in towards it. I want the deep breathing. So we're working towards that. So this will be the second one for the guys. And then they've got one more to do on this side. Obviously, if we do it on one side, we're going to do it on the other side. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So again, you know, you might not be able to carry out the full arc yet. So you can see the guys here are getting 180 degrees. They're getting all the way around. You might get stuck in a particular position. So you might only get 30 degrees. And that's as far as you can get. That's as far as you can get right now. And that's the part where we work on. So it's not where we start, it's where we finish, which is the most important thing here. So it's about kind of working through that. So when you've done your 3 sets on this side, guys, if you can do the other side, that would be great. So again, if you can try and set it up that you're facing the camera, cool, excellent. Now you may cross paths here. We'll work it out. Maybe if you come more on, yeah, perfect. Okay. And then hopefully that won't make too much of a difference on the angle. Again, lying on the side is really important. And if you're really tight, then you can probably see it in Sam a little bit, his knees lift off a little bit. So what we want to do is to make sure that those knees stay on the ground. You can see that, you know, there's no real kind of tension in Maya's. Maybe here is where the tension is. And so I could see there was a bit of a movement. So she wants to really push her hand up. Can you feel that, Maya? And again, you can feel here now. So reaching out towards me, reaching out towards me, reaching out towards me, reaching out. Keep your legs down, keep your legs down, keep your legs down. Good. And then when you've done your 6 seconds, you can move again towards that. You find your next tight spot and then you work towards that. So the guys have got 2 more sets to do on this. Again, we're all on different stages in our journey. And if you're really stiff and tight over that scapular girdle, then this is more for you. If you haven't got any problems and your mobility is absolutely amazing, which very, very few people have. I mean, you've got to really be in Cirque du Soleil to be, you know, in the circus really to have, you know, top movement, or maybe a gymnast or, you know, a dancer. But, you know, for the majority of people, we don't have enough movement proficiency. We're not expressing enough movement. And this is the reason why we get, you know, the sticky spots, why we get sore shoulders and sore necks and so on and so forth, because we've gone through some repetitive trauma in maybe not such a great envelope of movement. So here what we're doing is increasing our envelope of movement. Cool. So we've done our 3 sets. So now we're going to go into what is known as, or I think it's known as the German sit. I don't care what you call it. So basically what you want to do, guys, is you're in this position here, your hands are back like that, and then you're going to be feeling a stretch. You want to bring your chest up and out like that, and you're going to feel that stretch across your chest. To make it harder, you can bring your bum towards your heels, but we'll start off in a midline position and we'll hold that. So maybe if you just come back at, yeah, cool. So start off in that position, hold that for 2 to 3 breaths. After 2 to 3 nice relaxing breaths, what will happen is you can either bring your bum to your heels. If you've got a knee issue and you can't do that, you can slide your hands back behind you a bit further. So you slide them back a few centimeters, whichever you want. And then you want to bring your chest nice and proud. Can you feel that stretch, Sam? Can you feel that stretch, Maya? No, because Maya's got a lot more mobility there. Sam's got more strength and Maya's got more mobility. We want to blend a bit of the two. So Maya, maybe you can go back a bit further. When you've done another couple of those, couple of breaths, then you want to go back again. You want to really, so as soon as you can, you want to just get those hands out there, you know, and by putting your hands a little bit closer together, you can get really, and then driving your chest forward, you can feel that stretch going through there. So we do 5 reps of this. So I think the guys are on rep number 3 here. And this is the table, this is the German sit. So we'll give them 1 more rep each after this one. So this is rep number 4. And following on from here, what we're going to do is the tabletop. And the tabletop is quite tough. So maybe you're ready for it, maybe you're not, maybe it's a working towards, but you'll feel a huge stretch down the biceps. So it's a similar position to what the guys are in right now, but what's going to happen here, and Maya will show you as well, is now I'm going to lift my hips right up till I'm in that tabletop position. And then I'm going to hold that position for 10 seconds, and I'm going to repeat this 3 times. So you can both count your own 10 seconds. So hips really nice and high. You feel that stretch on your biceps, Sam? Good. And then you take a nice break after you've done your 10 seconds, but you want to keep those hips as high as you possibly can. Good. Excellent. And then your second set, Maya. Excellent. Can you feel that, Maya? Okay. Excellent. Now the next one is one that we tried with Maya earlier, the Halasana. So I'm looking forward to seeing this. Oh my God, it was bad. You want to see how she got out of it. She got stuck, you know. So we're going to do the Halasana, I think they call it. I'm not making these words up. I'm just not very good at the words, okay? Cool, and Sam's on his last rep from there. So we're going to get a huge amount of, you know, flexion and a good stretch through the neck here. We're going to use gravity, and it's doing it in a closed chain. So when we were doing our thread the needle, and when we were doing that, we were kind of in an open chain a little bit. When we were doing our sleeper stretch, we were a little bit in an open chain. So what we're going to do here, so what Maya is going to show you, if she can remember, so she's going to line her back, and then she's going to bring her feet up and out and over, and now she's getting a huge stretch down her neck and shoulders, okay? Only do this if you're able to do it. 10 seconds, and then she comes back into a sitting position. So let's see how, and now you're going to do 2 more reps of that, please, Maya. Right, so Sam's having another look, so what she's doing, so if you lie on your back, Sam, okay, then bring your right up and over. Now try and get your feet on the ground. Good, all the way, all the way, all the way. Now hold that position for 10 seconds. And then you're coming back down. Good. So again, you know, if you're starting off with this kind of carry on, maybe this is not the one for you. But if you want something to challenge yourself, maybe you're only getting halfway, maybe you're getting it that far, and you're working towards, maybe you're not getting your feet on the ground. But it's a great one. You're kind of folding in on top of yourself. Great one for the pike, learning the pike. So that's the Halasana. So there's 3 sets of that, 3 sets of 10 seconds. So I think, Maya, you've done your 3 sets, haven't you? How are you getting on, Sam?
I'm just on my 3rd.
So Sam's going on to his 3rd now, so he's getting on to that one. Okay, fantastic. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be lying in prone. So lying in prone means you're lying on your front. So if I can have both of you facing the, well, yeah, side on for you, please, Maya, yeah. And if your head is facing up that way. And hands are out in front like Superman, okay? And thumbs are up, because when you get the thumbs up, we're getting a bit of a rotation. So, and your head is firmly on the floor, okay? Now, what we don't want to do here is, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be extending, we're going to be lifting the arms off the floor for 5 seconds and about 5 centimeters if we can. But what we don't want to do, we don't want to lift the head and we don't want to arch the back. So you're trying to engage tummy muscles, like sucking your belly button into your spine. You're keeping your forehead on the ground without extending your head. And now what you're going to do is you're going to try and keep your hands as close as you can together-ish, right? And then you're going to lift your hands up off the floor as high as you can, 5 centimeters at least. Up they go, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back down. We're doing 5 sets of 5 seconds, so I'll let the guys count their own reps and sets. So all the time you get bonus points for really engaging the tummy muscles now, really tighten the tummy muscles, go into that posterior tilt. Do not arch the back, do not let the head come up off the ground, and don't bend your elbows. So if you can keep your elbows a bit straighter, Sam, thumbs faced up to the, that's it, give the thumbs up and all the way up. How are you finding this, guys? Tough?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one, really good one. So, yes, there is a strength aspect to this one, very much a strength aspect to this one, but it's an excellent exercise. I think the guys are on rep number 4, and then they've got one more rep to go. So again, trying to make things as, what would you say, as fluent as possible. What we're going to do is we're going to be staying in this position, but now they're going to come into a 90-90 position. So what's going to happen now is you're going to be in that position there like that. And we're going to repeat the process, right? So what we're going to do is make sure that we don't arch our back, we don't bring our head up off the ground, and now we're going to externally rotate. We're going to try and bring our palms up off the ground again. Okay, so no elbows on the ground, Sam. So you want it there you go. So really kind of, and you want to hold that for 5 seconds. Good, and then back down. Can you feel that? Tough? So you're doing 5 of those, 5 sets of 5 seconds. Good, we're nearly there. So really good for external rotation, because earlier on we worked inside lying on the posterior capsule when we were doing our sleeper stretch, and you know, so we've done a lot on the shoulders right now, so we're doing great here. So when the guys have done their 5, we've got 3 exercises left. So the next one is called the butcher's block. So this is where you are going to need some yoga blocks or some kind of raised surface from there. So guys, if you want to set yourselves up with your blocks in front of you, it might be easier for you. Okay, so blocks out in front of you, and what's going to happen is they're going to put their elbows, and again, there's really no arching in the back here, okay? This is what a lot of people will do, right, okay? So you want to set your elbows up on your blocks in front of you, okay? And then you want to bring your hands above your head and you want to clasp them like that. So you want to drop your head down like that, okay? And then you want to try and get as low as you can. So if you bring your knees back a bit further, good, excellent. And then now you're going to try and drive down into, so you're getting this huge, where are you feeling that stretch, guys? Without any arch. So again, tighten your tummy muscles. So tighten your tummy muscles, and you should be feeling it all through there. You feeling that? Yep. You hold for 10 seconds, and then you come out of it. So where are you feeling that, Maya? Triceps. And Sam, where are you feeling that? On the lats. Okay, so 2 people doing exactly the same exercise, and they have a different response. Okay, so you hold it 10 seconds, and then you come up out of it. And then you do your second set, and then you do your third set. Now, you don't want to arch the back, and you really want to try and, you know, you can drop, so what's it like if you drop one of these? So if you go a little bit lower, and Sam, on your next one, if you drop one of those blocks again, so go a little bit lower on the block, and then drive down into it again, hands clasped and above your head. Is that tougher or easier? So hands there like that a bit more, okay, and then hands like that a bit more, and then really drive down. And you could even get your knees back a bit further. Okay, cool. You could put your knees back a bit further as well, Maya. Okay, and going into that. So that's the butcher's block. Okay, we have got 2 exercises left, so we're in that 4-point kneeling again. And what's going to happen now is, Maya, you're going to show the pec twist. So you're going to go into that position, so 4-point kneeling, hand out. So we'll use this hand. So what Maya, so you're going to keep this hand up, Maya. Okay, you stretch that one out, and then you push, you're twisting away. So you're the one twist towards me. So this hand has to be out like this. Okay, and then can you feel a stretch on your pec now? Yeah. Okay, so this hand here comes up and out a bit further, okay, And now you're going to push down into the floor here. The elbow is nice and straight. And can you feel that now, Sam? So you do 10 seconds on each side. You can see the way now Maya is working out where her hand needs to be. She's twisting away from it. She's holding for 10 seconds. She's feeling this huge stretch across the pec here. And then she relaxes it off. So you can relax that off again, Sam. And you do three sets on this side, so 10 seconds each set. And then if you do it on the right, guys, then we're doing it on the left. So you can see that, and you'll see this in a moment with Maya and Sam, that the opposite elbow is bent to help them get down into that good chest stretch position. So again, Maya, on the other side, I'll move my stuff out of the way here. Okay. Cool, so you can see now she's facing towards the camera. She's stretching that hand out. So you can change the position of that stretching hand to get more of a stretch wherever you feel. So you can you can experiment. Maybe if it's out a bit further in front of you, maybe it's out to the side. It's wherever you feel that stretch most. And again, it's 3 sets of 10 from here. Then after this one, we've got one exercise left, and we're going to go into our child's pose. So we'll be in full kneeling and we'll be stretching out as much as we can, and we're going to hold that pose for 20 seconds. So right down, so bum to heels, good, and then you want to, so again, and it's really interesting seeing different people's movements. So you saw the way that Maya did it. She put her hands out first and then put her bum back towards her heels, whereas Sam did it the opposite way. He got his bum to his heels first and then started walking out the arms. So we all have different movement strategies. So neither one of those is right, neither one of those is wrong, and we hold that for 20 seconds. Now, this is our mobility class. We also have a strength class, so we've got a lot of exercises there for the shoulder and the neck, but we like to start off a range of movement or flexibility or mobility. You know, these are interchangeable terms. They don't all mean the same. And there is a lot of science, there's a lot of research behind stretching and the different types of stretching. So, for example, ballistic stretching or proprioceptive neurofacilitation stretching or static stretching or hold, relax, contract, relax stretching, dynamic stretching. These are all going to facilitate different outcomes. And we want to combine these within the session to make sure that we are getting some change within the tissue, and then that change within the tissue is going to lead to, you know, better mobility or movement or flexibility within the shoulder, probably all of those, and then hopefully that's going to help us on our journey towards a pain-free shoulder. Again, if you're doing the class as a general class, you know, you can adapt the class a little bit with regards to where you're at. So you might be working towards a particular range or a particular time under tension and so on and so forth. Then if it's part of your rehab and if Maya or Sam have given you certain exercises to do, please follow the program. So don't be doing them all because we'll get to those as well. So I hope you enjoyed this class and we look forward to seeing you on the